Hey everyone, how's it going? Azrin here, owner of the Calgary Language Nerds, and welcome to the video. The purpose of today's lesson is to hit pause. I want to hit the pause button today. You've been watching these videos, consuming these lessons, listening to the podcast, and we're almost 60 lessons in on this Learn Gujarati with me journey, right? And so what I want to do today is help you make the most of the videos you've already watched, the lessons you've already watched, and help you chart a pathway forward from here on out to whatever level that you want in Gujarati, whether it's beginner, whether it's an intermediate, whether it's really, really advanced. The purpose of today is to help you understand and help you chart a pathway forward based on where we are at today. So based on where we're at today, if we do a summary, you've done a lot of theory, a lot of grammatical theory, especially those first lessons, right? Those first 20 or so lessons on this channel are very theoretical. Grammar rules, grammar structures, like it's very grammar oriented, right? Then after that, we started to switch things up. There was some more listening, a little bit more authentic practice. Yes, still some grammar, but we started to bring in some more authentic practice. And so I think that's where we're at in this learning journey. That's where you're at right now in this learning journey. You're still early on. You're not advanced, right? We're still early in the journey. But we're at a place where if you've watched the 50 or so lessons up until here, you're at a place where you have a decent amount of theoretical grammar knowledge in your mind. What we now need to really focus on is, yes, still do some grammar, of course, but now we need to make the learning journey more authentic. That's the big focus at this point in time, to make things more authentic. And we make things more authentic by doing more listening, by doing more reading. If you're learning to read, I know not everyone is learning to read, but reading if you are learning to read. So more listening, more reading, and more speaking. Heck, we can even do more writing if you like to write. So writing, listening, reading, and speaking. We need to really double down on those four things. Now you get to choose what you double down on. So if you're someone who's learning to read, I would actually highly recommend that you double down on your reading. I would highly recommend that. The reading is going to dramatically increase your vocabulary. The reading is going to show you all these different grammatical structures. You're going to see them in application. The reading is going to even help you to improve your speaking indirectly, right? Indirectly, it'll help you to improve your speaking, which people don't even really realize. If you're not learning to read, maybe you'll choose to double down on your listening. Maybe you're going to re-watch a lot of the listening content on this channel. Maybe you're going to find other listening materials and practice listening to those, right? Maybe that's not your cup of tea. No problem. Let's double down on speaking. Talk to your partner, talk to your family, talk to people you know, even if they're slow, awkward conversations, even if they're clunky, even if you don't always know the words, right? Like we need to double down on the speaking. And of course, keep using this YouTube channel. Like, of course, right? Like whatever it is, it's the listening, it's the reading, it's the talking, it's the writing. The writing's a big one. Write out practice sentences, even if it's not in the Gujarati script. Use the ABC alphabet, like Hu Ramu Chu, H-U-A-R, H-U-R-A-M-U. I don't even care. It doesn't matter if you spell it right, but type it out, write it out, express your thoughts to the best of your ability in the written format. When you don't know words or phrases, look them up on Google Translate. Look it up. Just look it up. That's totally fine. And be like, oh, that's how you say that. Wonderful. It's about integration. It's about integrating, even though you're a beginner, I know you're still a beginner. That's totally fine. But it's about integrating, it's starting to integrate Gujarati into your life. It's starting to really integrate this into your speech, into your listening, into your reading, into your writing. It's about integrating this into your day-to-day life and truly making this a routine, right? A real routine. That's not just about watching more videos. Yes, keep watching the videos. Yes, I'm going to keep teaching you new things. Yes, we'll do lots of listening and reading and da. Of course. But it's about finding a routine that works for you. Almost everyone here watching this knows Gujarati people. You can try talking to them. Some of you are learning to read. That's something that's very straightforward to practice at home. It's not hard to practice reading things at home. If you don't know how, just ask me. I can answer that in like 3 seconds, right? writing, like we really want to find a way to, you really want to find a way to make this part of your day-to-day life. And that's the big focus as of right now. You see, there's a big misconception around how languages are learned, not just Gujarati, but languages as a whole. We have a big misconception about how languages are learned. People think that language learning is an intellectual task. You might think this yourself. You might think to yourself that you're going to take this information and plug it all into your brain. You might think that, but that's actually not the case. It's a lot more similar to learning how to ride a bike. You don't learn to ride a bike by reading a how-to guide on how to ride a bike. Sure, you might start with that if you're an adult who can't ride a bike, but eventually you get on the bike. And eventually that's how you learn how to ride the bike. So you're not going to learn Gujarati just by watching these videos. You're going to learn Gujarati by using it in your day-to-day life, by actually listening, by actually trying to write out your thoughts, by actually trying to listen, by actually trying to read. So if we were to try and simplify this, right, like what are some things you can do like every day that are easy, that fit into your life? What are some things you can do that are like easy ways to integrate this into your life? So I think an easy one, number one, everyone can do this starting immediately. Especially if you're watching this video now and you've kept up with all the lessons prior to today, all of you, every single one of you have the ability to take 15 minutes a day and write out some practice sentences. I am playing with this toy. I am riding a horse. I am driving this car. I was whatever. I don't know, like whatever you can. If you have a little bit of a base Gujarati level, then you could even try some short journal entries, short texts, right? You can even try that. Today I was a really stressful day because my coworker did this thing to me and I was so angry and like that is absolutely an option as well if you have the level to do that. So that's something immediately everyone can start to do now, like now, like right after you finish watching or listening to this, right? Another thing for those of you learning to read, if you are learning to read, it's such a simple thing. Like just to like literally pull up. I mean, Lord, where would you start? Depends on your reading level, I suppose, but any content on the internet in Gujarati, and even just to read a small portion of it, like subtitles could be read. That's a form of reading, I guess, right? Just to get used to the script. You could pull up the Gujarati Samachar, like the news, and just even if you're not that good at reading, just read the headline, right? Like me, sometimes I pull up the news articles and like depending on the topic, they're hard. Like I can't read all of it. It's like, oh my God, there's so many words I don't know. I read the headline and that's it, right? Like that's a very simple thing all of you can start to do right away is like read. That's a very simple thing you can do. Talking. You know people that speak Gujarati, just exchange a little bit of speech with them. So easy to do. For the vast majority of you know someone who speaks Gujarati, pick up the phone, get on Zoom, talk to them, enter the other room. Like some of you are married to someone who's Gujarati. Like walk across into the kitchen and be like, hi, kem cho, mare Gujarati practice karvu chhe aaj. Like, right? Like talk to them, even just a little bit, right? And then listening, right? Listening, at the beginner level, we don't have a lot of resources, unfortunately, that are beginner friendly. Over time on this YouTube channel, we're going to have a larger and larger bank. So that's the one. That's a trickier one. But hey, we can still do passive listening. That's not nothing. Passive listening means having Gujarati around you. Gujarati music, Gujarati shows, Gujarati podcasts, Gujarati like this. Actually, that doesn't exist. Sorry. I had an idea, but it doesn't exist in Gujarati. But listen, like having it around you, just so it's around you. Say, okay, yeah, Gujarati. Yes, this is happening, right? So that's where we're at on this channel. In these lessons, that's where you're at in your learning journey. We're still going to do more theory, but really we're going to focus more at this point onward, where you are going to focus a lot more on application. Yes, theory is still going to be there, grammar and all that, of course, but we're gonna start to shift more and more into application really from this point onward. So exciting times. Best of luck on your Gujarati learning journey. And I'll see you very, very soon. Aujo. Bye. Ooh, you guys hear that? The chair made a loud creak. Anyway, bye. Aujo.